Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Imperial War, Know the Centurion, Issue 1, 2025. Ooh, that's a really good shot there, Richard Rider there. This is more of an in-depth look of what kind of goes on with Richard Rider as he's dealing with the world mind, so not a lot happens other than getting an understanding of who he is as a character and his kind of viewpoints on what goes on with the world mind and other kind of things. So it doesn't really move forward a lot other than kind of exploring the kind of dynamics that we'll have issue-wise in Novus and in the series that'll be going on. And it really kind of helps that it's Jed MacKay and Jonathan Hickman writing up on this, as Jed MacKay is going to be taking that series. So we'll see how that kind of goes. This kind of made me want to maybe check that out at some point, but we'll see. So let's crack into this. Xandar, once home to the Nova Corps, now but a tomb. Can you help us? Of course, but it will take roughly 1/3 of all power reserves I currently have. Should I proceed? ... Yes, please. Very well, this might hurt. Ah! And it's like, okay, so that is what we pretty much had in the Imperial series, and then we start moving from there. World mind, what happened? Pete, why are you frozen? Damn it, what is this? Peter! What's happening? Initializing. Subjective experience of time at 10,000% of reality. Brain bridge connection failed. World mind. Talk to me. Reattempting connection. As we see shit just like blasting away. So, the art in this is really good to kind of showcase that. I mean, I just love the color and everything kind of going on. But then we get into his kind of mind space. Situation report. Brain bridge connection failed. Reattempting connection. Richard, it is critical you pay attention at this time. Richard, world mind. Brain bridge connection failed. Reattempting connection. Richard, do not fight me, please. Fight you? I'm not fighting you. You can't hear me. Brain bridge connection failed. Yeah, because of the brain bridge connection thing. Reattempting connection. No. And we kind of see why he would probably try and fight that. Because this is... That's nightmare fuel right there, man. That's just... I love the, like, how it's drawn, the use of color. It's creepy and disgusting. Richard, brain bridge connection failed. Richard, do not fight me. Reattempting connection. No, the corrupted world mind, but I left you in the Cancerverse. I left you. Nova, 2017, issue 5-7. So, thank you for getting that kind of information. And it's done throughout like this to kind of give us a little bit more information on why he would have this kind of issue here, and I'm glad that it's not hit over the head, but gives us what we need. Brain bridge connection failed. Richard, I am detecting elevated cortisol levels in your brain. The stress response is impeding my attempts to establish a connection. Don't touch me. Reattempting connection. I won't go back there. Richard, brain bridge connection failed. Richard, I am detecting an uncontrolled panic reaction. Without the brain bridge connection, I cannot help you manage it. And just seeing him trying to blast off and deal with the tentacles while getting wrapped up. Reattempting connection. Yerg, I cannot establish a connection without your consent. Nova force to full. Nova 11249443996. Richard Rider. Brain bridge connection failed. What you are seeing is not real. You are having a panic reaction to the reestablishment of a brain bridge with a Xandarian world mind after channeling the Nova Force for so long with that one. This is a virtual space. You cannot harm me, but if you channel the Nova Force at such a level, you will kill your friends in the physical world. My friends? As we see it go, it's like, holy fucking shit. And then Richard's like, oh god, yes. I'm trying to help you, Richard, because you asked me to. Because that is what the Nova Corps does. We help people. Reattempting connection. And that's where it kind of like hits for Richard. And then he goes, world mind. Brain bridge connection complete. Now let's go to work. It's like, okay, that's an interesting look at the world mind. Just like, ooh, ah. Whoa. What now, world mind? A visual construct within which we can hold counsel, Richard. We're operating at a subjective speed roughly 10,000 times that of objective reality. You implied that time is of the essence, as we see a cemetery/graveyard. What was that? Why did I see what I saw? In part, it was your long time away from a world mind connection. A Nova Corpsman is not meant to operate independently for so long. Usage of the Nova Force requires tremendously complex and sophisticated management protocols. Interesting to learn that. And in part, it was your psyche's reaction to re-establishing the brain bridge. What do you mean? Your guilt and fear put you into a state of profound agitation. I abandoned you, or a version of you, World Mind Prime. I left you alone in a universe that was the next best thing to hell, to save my own skin. And I get that. It's like, shit. And I love that we have a pause for him to kind of like deal with that. You are right to do so. What? I was backed up. You are not. You are not, cannot be. It's like, interesting way to look at that. In order for the Nova Corps to survive, you had to survive. World Mind Prime is still there. From what your memories tell me, hopelessly corrupted. Xandar is gone. It only survives through the core. And the core only survives through you. It's like, okay, interesting. Perspectives. Fine. Status report, please, World Mind. Energy reserves at 66%, Richard. What about the Nova Force? It's a limitless primordial energy source, for God's sake. You forget, Richard. I am a backup incarnation of the Xandarian World Mind. A lifeboat for our entire culture and body of knowledge. My capacities, including management of the Nova Force, are limited in comparison to that of World Mind Prime. World Mind Prime is not an option. Indeed. As you know, I was never meant to be activated like this. I was supposed to supplement World Mind Prime in the event of catastrophic damage. While I can manage your access to the Nova Force, I cannot use it to power myself, and in doing so, I deplete my own reserves. Das. Language Richard is like, shit, he's like, well, ain't that a bitch? And I know this is more kind of talking and everything, and it's a big kind of setup, but we got a little bit of the action of him fighting the kind of stuff, but this is kind of important. And look, it's a $4.99er, and good quality and everything, stapling and all that, so no loose pages. But I'm Nova Prime. I've been accessing the Nova Force since losing World Mind Prime, since before you were activated. Yes, as an integral part of your office, you had Prime-level permissions for access to the Nova Force as per core emergency protocols. But with the World Mind now active, those permissions have been rescinded, and I am powerless to reinstate them. All Nova Force management reverts to me. Right? That is an interesting way to put us into a kind of predicament. So when I use the Nova Force now, you pay for it. Yes, unfortunately. Our situation is as unprecedented as it is unfortunate. So I've gained knowledge, but at the expense of power. Some might call that maturity. I suppose some might, World Mind. It's like, well, it puts me in a pretty big spot. Okay, does it matter? I've got a sponsorship pledge from the next Emperor of Spartax. We'll have enough credits at our disposal that we can shovel them into a furnace to power you. Richard, that is wildly inefficient method of generating energy. Yeah, but it's the best you got at the moment. Otherwise, you ain't got nothing. Whatever. World Mind, why is this virtual representation a graveyard? Richard, I'm a repository of knowledge. I am not, by definition, an entity capable of being creative. In order to create something, I must access your mind. It is a cemetery because that is what you think the Nova Corps is. And then he's like, boop, it's like, shit. Now, I believe you activated me for a reason. Yes. Who is behind all of this? Here's what we know. Multiple galactic dominions, council member states, all have suffered the assassinations of the heads of state, destabilizing them politically, economically, and militarily. Some Maya. It's like, oh, him looking at a gravestone for one of the other core members. Which appears to be a secondary concern to the unsub behind it all, or rather, the means to a different end. Correct. Their primary objective appears to be fomenting war between any and all affected states, killing the rumored Galactic Union before it's born. On the surface, the Wakandans are the obvious suspect. They held out on the Union project. But you don't believe that. No, not anymore. They were holding out because they knew their resources, vibranium, were essential to the project. It was leverage, not a philosophical opposition. Good to differentiate the two. Like a philosophical opposition would be a vastly different kind of beast than just like... They weren't philosophically opposed to it. They just wanted a leverage kind of position. That's what they had. And more to the point, if the Black Panther was behind this, we'd never know. Yeah, exactly. This scheme has been predicated upon assassins being found out, and he's too good for that. So, yeah, thank you for thinking about that. Ash. It's not Snow, it's Ash. And then there's the Skrulls. Skrulls are easy to blame, but they are also easy to manipulate. You think there's someone pulling the Skrulls' strings? How? They're pulling everybody's strings, Richard. Their piety. The last time we saw a Skrull mobilization at this level, with this amount of sophistication, it was a religiously motivated crusade. Yep. But Veranke is dead, and no Skrull has replaced her. It would take time for another to reach her level of influence, and it could not be done in secret. Flark, we're going around in circles while people die. You and your allies have been presented with too much data, and I believe this is to be by design. The mind of a biological sentient can only process so much. Ignore the noise, pay attention to the silence. I like that thought process, World Mind, and I like how Richard is kind of like kicking at the Ash. This is a war that involves every power, or does it? Who is conspicuous by their absence? What galactic power players have not been involved? And what might they gain from such a state of flux? What do you mean everyone is involved? Oh god, pay attention to the silence. The Inhumans. It's the Inhumans. And him figuring it out like that, I really kind of like it. It's like, okay, we know everyone involved. Who isn't involved? How did they do it? I don't know. Proof. We need proof. I don't have any. Then what do you have, World Mind? Richard, remember what I am. I cannot investigate. I cannot supply data that I do not have. What I can do is analyze a supermassive quantity of data and reach a conclusion. And that conclusion is there is no doubt the Inhuman royal family are the hand behind all that has happened. It's like, oh shit. And then, of course, that kind of links us up and goes a little bit further as we go on. Oh, cool. Moves within moves. The hidden hand. Oh, God. I know who did this. As we kind of get back up. And I like that kind of sizzling thing going on there. Shortly, en route to Fulcrum. The Inhumans? Bit of a deep cut, don't you think, Rich? And I kind of like that that's a little bit meta. It's like, oh, we going to Inhumans on this? Let's kind of see what goes on here. Sure, they used to be players, but no one's heard anything from them in an age. Yeah, players. Pete, they took over the Dast Kree Empire with one ship. 1,000 worlds with one ship. You think anything's beyond them? I'm just saying, we've got no proof. Hell, we don't even have a method. We're going to look crazy. I don't care. We had the analysis of one of the universe's true superintelligences, which you both put enough credence in to do this whole jaunt. And we have my word, as Nova, as one of the last Novas. Shuri, you're awfully quiet over there, because I agree with Nova. It was the Inhumans. There are extremely few organizations that I believe capable of acting against my brother without his knowledge. The Inhumans are one of them. Their king and mine have both been members of a conspiracy to shape the events of our birth world. This is not beyond Black Bolt. Yep. And they are a royal family just like the one I am a part of, the one you are a part of, Quill. Who better to pit us against each other than our peers? Who better to play the Imperial game? And that's where we kind of get into it. I like having that kind of put there. After what the Kree did to them, they're taking back their throne. They're taking back Hala, and they think that no one will know what they're guilty of. That's of the Inhumans 2018. Thank you for giving me information. Hold that thought. Incoming on the sub-etheric from Fulcrum. People of the Kree Empire and allied states. My name is Medusa of the House of Agon, and I speak not for myself, but lend my voice to my king. I speak for Black Bolt, whose voice is heard only by your enemies. Notice how this phrasing is done. Whose voice is only heard by your enemies. The Skrulls wear many shapes, but they cannot hide their true natures. They have betrayed their alliance with the Kree, as was always in their nature to, with the Council, with all civilized worlds. In their nobility and their generosity of spirit, the Kree made a mistake in trusting the Skrulls, but not a fatal one. Not one that we cannot save you from, for we are still one people. The House of Agon has come to save you, people of the Kree. It's like, you fucking... And I love the looks on their faces as they're seeing this. The Inhumans have come to save you. And that's a nice kind of end there. Bit of like, oh shit, as they're like taking down Skrulls and shit. It's like, oh god. To be continued. Of course, then showing the Imperial Guardians and everything like that as the last one-shot. So, I think that this has been a better kind of thing of what they've been doing than what's been going on with X-Men. I like that they have these one-shots to flesh out Imperial itself and give an interesting kind of launch perspective for these series that they're going to be doing. Stuff with, like, Planet She-Hulk, Nova Centurion, the Imperial Guardians and everything like that. All this stuff that's spinning out of here, I like that. I think that this has worked pretty well because I do not feel that you need to read this to get an understanding of what's going on in the main event, but it gives you value add to where you're like, okay, I'm kind of interested in it, let me see what goes on with it. And I kind of liked how he was the detective and kind of Richard Rider, Last Nova and all that kind of shit. It gives you space westerns and shit for me. And then seeing him kind of work with Peter and Shuri in the main series, and then like, let's see what this is kind of setting up for. Okay, it gives us the base we need. He is powered down because if he uses more power, this world mind's gone, kaput, fucked. And then he would probably lose his powers as well since his emergency protocol privileges have been rescinded. I don't know if that would be reinstated if a world mind dies or loses activation. So there's a lot of interesting things that could go on with this. And I like seeing him deal with his guilt of what went on with the World Mind Prime in the Cancerverse. And now his kind of relationship with this supplemental World Mind. And seeing then humans kind of pop up and be like, We are the answer, even though we did this whole shit that didn't really need to go down, so we could be on top and like fracturing the Kree Skrull Empire. I'm like, God, I hadn't seen a lot of what was going on with like Teddy and Wiccan and the Kree Skrull Alliance, but I mean, yeah, there'd probably be issues, but I mean, it'd probably be jamming and juking pretty nicely and be like, okay, cool. And I'm just like, they need help. Okay. So, I like this. Do I think that you need to go out and get it? You might be a little bit put onto the side for the next kind of Imperial installment that the Inhumans have announced themselves for what's going on, but I don't think you need to go out and get this. If you are into Nova, I think this is pretty cool to kind of like get us an understanding of his status quo going into the Nova Centurion series that they're doing. But if you're kind of new to Nova and want to kind of check it out, I think this would be a good one to kind of look in. It gives you the mind space of Richard, the mind space of the world mind, and if you would be into the thing, I think this, like, this is really kind of crazy of me just being like, yeah, this is a really good one-shot to kind of gauge it. If you like the art, if you like the kind of writing style of what's going on, check it out. Art was really good. I really like that, even though it's mainly just a talking issue between Richard and the World Mind, that we still got a little bit of crazy stuff with the fucking corrupted World Mind, but we also got movement. Like, they're talking, but, like, he's walking around, he's moving his head and everything. I think the art team did a really good job at that, and then also, I like that. That's just, like, crazy looking scene there. And I like how the faces look and everything. It worked for me. Now, if it doesn't work for you, or you're like, I'm alright, that's cool, alright? That's alright, but I enjoyed this. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.